We continue our in-depth coverage of the ongoing federal government shutdown. Tomorrow will mark 2 weeks since many federal agencies closed their doors. And right now, there is still no sign of when an agreement will be reached to reopen them. For the latest now, we're joined by 12 News Politics Editor Ted Nesi, who, of course, has been tracking all of the developments out of Washington. And Ted, I will say, both sides still seem very dug in right now.
Yeah, Kim, and it's really unclear what is going to move either side at this point. Republican leaders say they don't want to agree to any conditions in exchange for a vote to reopen the government, but that vote can't happen in the Senate without support from Democrats, and they say they won't agree to a vote unless Republicans negotiate over these expiring health insurance subsidies that are about to run out. So here's a sense of how the debate played out yesterday on CBS's Face the Nation.
If Chuck Schumer and the far left Senate Democrats are going to shut down the government, that is going to lead to some chaos. So you ask, how does this mistake happen? It happened because Chuck Schumer shut down the government, and we're trying to make sure that essential services still function in the face of that shutdown.
There's no negotiations happening right now because Republicans are boycotting those negotiations. They are boycotting negotiations to reopen the government because they are desperate to raise premiums on people in this country by 75% in order to finance their tax cut for the wealthy.
All right, 13 days in, doesn't sound like much has changed. These two sides still sound pretty far apart. So as the shutdown now heads into its third week, I assume we're going to start seeing more and more impacts of it.
Yeah, Kim, and I think people are thinking that these effects might be part of what starts to put pressure on one side or the other to reach a resolution here. The biggest one is federal workers missing their paychecks. President Trump said over the weekend the Pentagon will tap other funding to pay military members, but many other types of federal employees are working without pay. And in previous shutdowns, that has caused problems at agencies like the TSA. The Trump administration has also sought to increase the pain of the shutdown for Democrats by announcing significant layoffs of federal workers at a variety of agencies. And then there's the health insurance issue that Democrats have put front and center. Open enrollment is coming, so Americans who are losing those subsidies will start getting their renewal notices soon, and those could have significant price increases if they're affected. Again, Kim, really unclear who's going to blink first here because we're not seeing much movement, but there have been a lot of reports about behind-the-scenes talks among senators to see if they can find a path out. The House, though, remains out of session.
Always a lot to track coming out of Washington. 12 News Politics Editor Ted Nesi, thanks for being here.
Good to be here.